So I've got my Polaroid Polavision viewer here, guys, disassembled to some degree here, where I could get a look and see if I could make some sense of its dysfunction. I think I mentioned to you before, I think it's a power supply issue, and that does appear to be the case. You can see the line supply actually coming in here, and it goes down to kind of a unique motor transformer assembly. It's all like a single sub-assembly here, you know. So I can't seem to get any secondary power out of it at all. So I think the transformer coil must be open circuit. I've yet to remove it, as we've been involved, as you can tell, to remove it, but quite a marvel of electromechanical technology. This thing resembles more of a pinball machine than anything else I'm familiar with. You know, it's all electromechanical. Interesting in the sense that it's just a single motor that actually drives everything. It drives, you can see it comes down here to a couple of different belt drives. This belt drive goes off to the cooling blower, which is up there. The cooling blower uses the duct here, draws in through the filter assembly that I showed you before, through the ductwork, and actually blows the cooling air over the lamp and is exhausted back out, of course. And yeah, so the fan is actually belt driven. The shutter wheel, can you see it there? There's the shutter wheel for the film sync, of course, is belt driven as well. That's a tooth belt in that case. And then the other drive comes here through a worm gear off the motor itself onto I guess like a spur gear arrangement through the drive couplers in the shaft across to the other side of the machine. And it comes to the tape drive, the tape transport, or the film drive. And not only does it drive, of course, but it actually engages the whole transport as well. And I think that's what this solenoid here is for. I can see that solenoid probably pulling up the lock there, and then the whole transport mechanism would engage with the cassette. At least I think that's how it works. As I mentioned before, all the contacts here on the board, I'm sure there is, I can't see it, so I'd have to turn the rig the other way around. But on the other side of this, there's a gear, but with traces on it, so I think all the position pickup is being sensed via the contacts here. Oh no, I might be mistaken here, guys. Actually, perhaps there is another motor. I think that looks like a drive motor right in the middle there. Can't see it very well or much detail, but yeah, a little brass gear there. I think that is for the drive. So I think the drive that comes across here is only for the engagement or disengagement, I guess, of the drive on the cassette, but the actual drive of the film through the cartridge, through the cassette itself, I think actually looks like a motor there to me, although I don't see any wiring going to it. Yeah, is that a motor? I don't know. Cylindrical housing. Permanent magnet, probably, yeah. I think that probably is the drive motor. Yeah, so I might be mistaken. Perhaps there is two motors. I think that is for the film drive itself. This drive coming across here is only for the drive engagement or disengagement. Up here, which I thought was a circuit breaker initially in the first video I made about this, I suspect that must go to a solenoid of some sort somewhere, which I can't see. I can't see that either. You can see here there's a tang that's connected to this lever here. There's one at the forward side of the cassette housing, and these little tangs here kick in order to kick the film out, the cartridge, the cassette of the film actually out. Yeah, gonna take a while just to poke around. I should have mentioned, guys, the whole point to this video really is, if anybody has any kind of support documentation of any sort at all, or would have any idea where I could possibly get some, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could pass along the details, because I can't find a schematic or try trying to work with something like this it's no small task if you're trying to figure out every circuit and you know what's what. You know, you're left to your own devices. This can take a long time, and I'm quite interested in this. It's pretty clever. A flop commercially, as I mentioned, but a pretty clever rig as well. So yeah, interesting is the screen. Sadly, there's a wee tiny bit of damage on it somewhere on the outside here. It's up in this corner, I guess, is, yeah, right there. But let me zoom up, and you can see, I don't know much about optics there. I know nothing about cameras, but that to me looks like a Fresnel lens, right? It looks like a diffuser, but a Fresnel lens actually operates the opposite way, where instead of diffusing the light, it's actually columnizing the light. So I guess you would have maximum luminosity or intensity of the light on the viewer itself, right? Again, I mentioned the lens. The light is projected through a prism on the film cartridge itself, cassette, and then it's projected through the lens here, and then there's a mirror which is missing from there. I have it, but it's debonded from the plate there, and it ultimately projects the image onto the Fresnel lens screen there. Lighthouses and aircraft carrier landing systems use Fresnel lenses. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. I'll get way off topic, but anyway, yeah, that's the state of affairs with the Polavision viewer. Dog dead, and as I said, I'm gonna have to do some major extraction to get this out, because yeah, this is really, it's such a unified assembly, and everything being driven off this central point here. Gonna be a wee bit of disassembly involved with that. Anyway, that's it for now, boys. I thought some of you might be interested, because it is kind of a electromechanical wonder, you know. That's it, boys. Cheers.